I want to know from you guys first. What would your advice be to somebody who was thinking about getting into the mortgage industry, either on the call center side or the outside sales person side?
My opinion might be a little biased. I did try the outside sales for like 2 seconds, and it wasn't for me because all I know was call center environment.
Why?
It was too much of a grind. Like, I'm used to being fed leads. I don't have to go hunting and all of that.
Honesty is key here. Thank you.
Right, and that was too much. It was too much. I was going out, and you're like putting all this work in. I'm talking to realtors. I'm calling people. I get people. They don't qualify. Like, you're frustrated. So I'm just like, I need to make a living. It just wasn't for me.
It's not consistent.
It's definitely a different grind because I know that being a realtor now,
it wasn't for
me. Obviously it's a different beast. And I'm like, whew, this is a lot.
I enjoyed the freedom of it. I liked going to the open houses. I enjoyed that. But actually getting the business, that was so hard.
There's no instant gratification in any 100% commission. Like, and the issue that, like, so for starting real estate agents, I always say is, like, be ready to not make any money for 6 to 12 months. Like, you're just not going to make any money. Like, it takes a long time to build up your network and pipeline, and you have to be financially able to sustain that, and you got to be able to just, like, deal with not getting instant gratification.
Set that expectation, though. So if you set that expectation, I know what to expect. Don't tell me you're going to be making money.
So they never did that.
Yeah,
right.
So,
no, they didn't.
So don't listen to these people telling you they're going to make $100,000 a year.
They did not set that expectation.
Not happening. Like, I'm being an outside guy. It's still, it's a grind every day. I mean, you've got to always be looking for realtor partners and clients, and following up. If you don't have a full team and it's just you and yourself, like she said, it's a daily grind. It's something that you have to work at constantly.
What's been the most productive activity for you to generate business?
I would say most productive between Facebook advertisements and when I was hosting first-time homebuyer seminars.
How are you promoting the seminars on Facebook?
on Facebook, Facebook, social media, word of mouth, and through getting the realtors that I had. Because once you starting out as a outside officer, you have to build up your network of realtors that you're close with, that are going to refer you business, or that are going to want to, in some way, shape, or form, do business with you, whether it's they need a question answered or they're going to send you all their shit leads because they're A1 guy. They're content sending their stuff to him. So, hey, see what you can do with this. Is what it is. So getting into that space, again, telling them, hey, I've got a first-time home buyer seminar that's going to be able to tell your borrowers that don't qualify how they can qualify. It's going to show them, the financial literacy side of things, what their credit score needs to be, how they can improve their credit score. Those are the things that worked the most. I used to go to, real estate offices like every day, and hey, here's my card, here's a box of donuts, and
that shit is dead.
These are, and any of your agents around, your office manager around. I stopped doing that. I mean, not so much that I didn't like doing the work or whatever. I didn't like mind going in.
Results.
The results weren't there. Most of the time you were greeted with a office manager that was like, "Okay, we'll hand your cards over. Thanks for the donuts. Can you bring coffee next time too?" But yeah, it's definitely again.
What kind of Facebook ads were you running?
Just more so.
Just a picture, specifically.
So specifically, it would more so just be a picture with. What if it was an event one, it'd be with the event, and it would just have a listing of everything that you would get from the seminar and everything like that. The ones that I run now, they're just pretty much program driven. FHA 3% down, VA 0% down, USD.
Are you having an issue because they changed the targeting on Facebook on the real estate related leads, where you can't even micro target anymore?
It's very different to where you have to almost broaden your scope as far as
who you're hitting
and everything like that. Like, you can't just centralizing on a certain area because they've changed the
Yeah, that hurt my feelings, man. So if you guys don't know, basically Facebook for real estate and political ads added all these restrictions. And before, you used to be able to target specifically like certain income ranges or certain interests, and it was very effective when I was running them because you could hit your audience, the people that you would know that mess with you, and now you had to do it generically.
I got a question for Drew. So right now, everybody's working from home. Like, would you go back to that call center environment, or you like that grind?
Ooh, good question.
Being an outside sales.
So it's 50-50. Would I go back to the call center environment?
Because you're working from home, so you don't have to deal with any of those people.
Do you have kids or anything first?
No.
So this is important, right?
Okay.
Stability is
Good
important.
Okay.
No kids. I my mom lives with me. She's elderly. She doesn't work anymore or anything like that. So I like the grind aspect of it. I like being able to help people on a personal level. I like being able to have Zoom calls with people that, Zoom calls now because, COVID and everything. But I like the outside aspect. I don't like the being tied to a desk and having, this is my schedule, and somebody looking over my shoulder saying, I don't think I could go back to that type of environment because it's not how I operate. My company that I work for now, I was telling Jess, they pretty much leave me alone. Right. I don't bother them. They don't bother me. If I'm putting out numbers, they're happy.
That's how me and Jess work.
Yeah.
Nobody bothering us. I'm just bothering Jess.
Exactly. They don't play with me. They don't.
Processing
guy Ryan, that's it.
Yeah, processing and underwriting are phenomenal. Right. So it would be hard. It would take a lot of compensation to go back to a structure like that.
What's the number?
Look.
What's the number for your freedom?
Right. Yeah. How much are you selling your soul for?
No pun intended.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'd have to have like a base of like 100 or something like that, to like say, hey, I'm going to be able to tell you what to do.